Hey guys, welcome to a prepping for paint video today. I am working a lot of these different cars that I've got here. Show you here, all of those. They've been completely stripped down to the bare metal, as you can see, and I'm going to be prepping them, just showing you some of what I do to get these die-cast bodies ready for paint. And also, I'm going to put some sealer on this car because I want to put, let's see, I think I've got 3 coats of sealer on this thing, and I want to put one more coat of the Pledge floor care, and then I want to put a coat of the X22, and we shall see what that does to this thing. You can see I got, I think, 3 coats of sealer on this, and somebody's asking about the windows. And you know, as you can see here, I go right over the windows, and it may initially fog up a little bit, but after a few minutes it'll go away. That fog will go away. And I do like to get it up on this plastic. It's one thing I like about the sealers. It doesn't. It may take a couple coats, but the plastic can also be sealed. Give it that glossy look. Also to seal in these decals on the side of the wing there. Always got to be mindful of the little stinking fuzzies and things that, you know, fly through the air and get on your cars as you're sealing them. Of course, paint too. You know, when you're painting them, you got to watch out for that. You want to paint in a nice area where you're not going to get a lot of dust and debris in your paint. But when you're sealing it, you gotta watch these hood open cars. So what I like to do, because sometimes the hood will stick, right? So I take a toothpick and just kind of go up underneath here and just, come on, little pointy side over here. There you go. See how that just pop that up just a little bit, you know, so that it doesn't stick. I have to do that every once in a while. Alright, so let me set this over here. And it usually takes about 15 minutes for that clear sealer to dry. You put a nice thin coat on. I didn't, you know, not too thick, not too thin. Just to get that on there, it'll dry here shortly. And I'll come back and put some X22 on that. Alright, so let's start with this car here. And I'll just show you what I do, right? So basically all I've done is, you know, dip it in here, stripped it off, and I have a brush over by my sink, and just an old toothbrush, and I just kind of, you know, brush it over. Sometimes I'll get some soap just to clean it off, and get it ready for this part. And so there's really 3 tools that I use here. I have this brush, metal brush. It's kind of the first thing I do is kind of go over it just to clean it up. Take any little bit of the paint that's still on there. Some of the paint will kind of get stuck in the little crevices and stuff, and I want to make sure that that is off of there. But I like to make sure I go over the whole car, especially like these little areas. We'll get some paint stuck in it. And of course across the front. Okay. So then, if I see some things that are a little stubborn, I'll take my X-Acto knife and I'll kind of scrape here, scrape there. Like that. Just don't want anything on there that... Sure, I'm going to paint over it, but if I can get this clean and free, then to me it's just going to be a better product at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm not seeing much anymore. One thing I also like to do is I'll go through these wheel wells, just kind of clean them out. Smooth them out. Those, sometimes it gets a little rough in there. I don't know. All right, so that's the second thing. And then the third thing I'll do, it's not all the time, but it's nice to have some of the steel wool here, and you can really, really get it cleaned up real nice. Nice and shiny. Get some of the finish off of that might still be on there that the brush didn't get. So just a little bit. There you go. So sometimes you'll see this in the inside here. There'll be like a little bit of this paint that I didn't scrape off before. I'm not overly concerned about it, obviously, because it's on the inside. But, if I see that, I'll scrape that off. And that is ready to be painted. Oh, one other thing is sometimes you'll see these little windows here. I don't have a file that's small enough to go in that, but sometimes if you scrape it, sometimes you'll get a little bit of the diecast body that's kind of raised up here, and when you go to put the windows back in, it's a pain. Catches. And so if I remember, or if I see something sticking up there, I'll kind of rub my X-Acto knife over that to kind of beat that down before I paint. Okay, that's ready to be painted. All right, so that was relatively easy. And sometimes you get a car like this, right? So this is a Kevin Harvick, Jimmy John's Mustang, and it didn't all come off. The paint didn't all come off. You can see you got some stubborn areas. Yeah, just all around, really. So we'll go through the process. Start with the brush. And you might have to press just a little bit harder. Nothing like a little elbow grease. To, you know, get this done. Yeah, you could probably have like a little Dremel with a little nice little, you know, buffing tip or like a little tip on it that'll clean this up real nice. So that's definitely something that you could use. But I don't know. Find a way that works best for you and go for it, you know. Can't say that enough on this channel. Got to be careful with this X-Acto knife because it is super sharp. I just changed the blade in it. It's super sharp. It'll cut you. It'll cut you for sure. Okay, let's see what this do. Now, we'll tell you, when I first started making customs, I didn't do any of this. I stripped the car, okay, and then I went straight to paint. I didn't wire brush it or anything. I just stripped the car down, and every once in a while, well, I shouldn't say every once in a while, it was actually more than once in a while. It was a number of times my primer wouldn't adhere to the car very well, and my paint job was poor, just really poor. And that's when I really started getting into cleaning the metal body fairly well before painting it. It doesn't take too long, but it's just an extra step. I think that adds value to the process of making customs, and so I added it in, and been doing this wire brushing ever since. The steel wool is relatively recently, within the last couple of years, because it really gives you a nice shiny finish. I do have the metal polish over there, and I think I'm going to use the metal polish outside of the rims on my car. I'm going to use the metal polish for cars that don't get primed, but they're going to use the chrome paint. And so yeah. I'll do a couple more here. Ouch. That was close. Didn't break the skin, thankfully. Alright, let's see. Got like a little spot right here in the headlight. Okay, not too bad. See, this is pretty stubborn here. So had fun last night. Well, I shouldn't. Well, I let me back up. I had fun last night. Tuesday nights are kind of a family night that we have. Tuesdays and Fridays we kind of have a family activities and different things that we do as a family. It's kind of fun. But and so we've gotten into this. We'll play movie Uno. So we play Uno a lot. Love Uno. Kind of raised our girls on Uno. We have some different rules and stuff, but we play Uno. Whoever wins gets to pick the movie that we watch. And so last night, I was the one who got to pick the movie, and I had recorded The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood classic, right? It's a 3-hour movie, no commercials. And so I chose that movie. And it was hilarious. So it's not typically the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is not typically a movie you watch with your wife and your 2 teenage daughters. They lose interest very quickly in that movie. So it was just kind of fun. I enjoy the movie. I don't think I've ever watched it from start to finish, but yeah, that was fun. Last night with the girls, they I think it came out in 1967, so it's an old classic, and it just everything's so slow. The plot slow to develop and everything. Just the way they used to do movies is just their attention span was gone pretty quickly. So. Anyways, that was funny. That was actually pretty funny last night that we did that. So, yeah. They'll be out of the house here pretty soon, a few years, and won't be able to have that time with them anymore. So, trying to value that time as much as possible with them. All right, let's do one more. This one's pretty good, actually. Let me choose a different one. Let's do this one. So this is a, the Ken Seth hood open and trunk open Team Caliber owner series, and this one I actually dipped in the solution twice because it was such a pain. There were some seriously stubborn areas on it, and so. Yeah. Hey, I just had an idea. I despise this thing so much. Maybe I cut that off. Let's see if I can cut this off without cutting my leg. I don't know. How would I cut that off? Yeah, I think I'm cutting it off. But it's going to take some time. I don't want to waste you guys' time trying to do that, but like I was saying in my other video, I hate these things. They stick out so far. And what I'm doing basically is holding it down on my knee, and I'm just cutting across there. It's going to take a little while because this is not really a metal cutting blade. But it is slowly but surely cutting through. Actually, I'm about halfway through right now. All right. I've started it. I might as well just finish it. Okay. There it went. Yeah. It's just going to make it that much easier to decal that spot. Yeah. I'm glad I did that. So I'm out of my process here. Brush first. It's getting ahead of myself way too much. So brush this thing. Sometimes I'll just kind of shove this in here. Okay, let's see what we got. So I got some yellow in here. Stubborn area right back here. Yeah, it's funny, we play Uno, right? And they typically don't like my choices of movies. You know, I pick more guy-friendly movies than they do. I still think it's funny, though, because they haven't really figured out how to gang up on me in playing Uno. It's like, I don't know. Maybe they just have delved into apathy. They don't really care. They just play, and however the cards turn out, you know. But they haven't yet ganged up on me because I won't say I typically win, but I win more than the others. And so, yeah, I think it's funny. At some point, they should start ganging up on me if they don't want to watch one of the movies that I pick. So, oh well. Okay, enough about that. All right, so that's that. It's not 100%. There's still a little bit of stuff in there that I can see. But, ouch. Sometimes these are prickly. Should probably wear gloves. Ow. But, I don't know. Is it manly to not wear gloves? Maybe. Okay. I kind of wipe it off. I have a towel, but I'm wiping it off on my leg right now, wearing sweatpants. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I think I like that idea of cutting that off. It's not as difficult as I thought it might be. Okay, so then I have these little pieces, right? And these are somewhat of a pain because you don't really have a whole lot of area to grip it. So it's kind of hard to get a good brush on it. I'm not going to have time to put that X22 on that COT Junior car because I want to get some paint on this. Okay. Again, not too concerned about the underside of the hood. So, definitely more concerned with the hood itself, though. All right, let's paint. Let's get some paint going. So this is going to be black. All this stuff is going to be black here. I like to paint the bottom first. These will be white. Let me just back this up just a little bit. I don't want to spray the camera. Okay. Alright, this is a little technique that I've started doing here. Speeds it up a little bit, because again, I'm not too concerned about things underneath. Okay. Then I pretty much just let that sit there. I don't touch that. But I take this is my little handy dandy 12 gauge wire little carrier that I carry over here, and I set it down on these little unused tester bottles, or old tester bottles. Just let it sit just like that, and it'll dry. And I have one for each station. So I'll go ahead and paint those white, bring them over here, and I will, let's see. Yeah, this will be black, this will be yellow, this will be primed white, and then do the competition orange for Ben, and that'll be white as well. So, yeah. Gonna be fun painting today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. God bless.